Hey there everybody, JT Bear coming at you once again. Just figured I'd do a little greenhouse maintenance today and thought I'd bring you along. Should be quite interesting. Decided to finally get rid of that shallow water culture bed that I've got going on the one aquaponic system and replace it with that old Pelican ice fishing sled that I converted to a grow bed. How many of you remember that project? So here's that old sled. Pretty simple really. Seemed quite ideal for a grow bed at the time. I'm not at all happy with the size of the drain that I've got in here, but that is the only fitting I had available at the time. So I'll fiddle with this and undoubtedly make it work. But let's go see what I'm, taking out of there first. This is going to be interesting. So I've run a few different test ideas in this shallow water culture system. And all in all, I do kind of like it, but it just, as I mentioned in an earlier video, it doesn't really seem to suit the way I'm growing at the moment. When I have a larger greenhouse, absolutely. Some of the ideas I tested in here though were, I've got just some exposed, untreated lumber in there, with the net cups in there, a little bit of growth on there, so probably not the best plan. Then I've got the liquid rubber treated plank in here. All in all, seems to be doing alright. And there's the dirty aquaponics. A little tray with the soil containers. Looking forward to pulling that up and seeing what those roots look like. And of course, there are Folgers cans. One with oregano and one with mint. Those two just seem to be ever present in my garden, don't they? Alright, I'm going to open up these windows and then we can take a look at those roots while I take it apart. Alright, well, it's incredibly bright in here, so I'm not quite sure how well this is showing up. But let's take a look at the dirty aquaponics. So this is semi-controlled use of soil in an aquaponic garden, in theory. Apologize for the yard work going on in the background there. Oh. Seems the roots of this have tied themselves in quite nicely with the roots beside them. Oh, give a good pull and everything's coming. Alright, I'm just going to use my hand and separate these roots a little bit. And let's see what we've got under here. Alright, I'm going to take these out to the outside table and get back at it. Alright, well, hopefully these roots will show up. We'll see how tangled they are with their neighbors. Move them outside again. Oh, yeah, these guys are tied right up. Fingers in there, try and separate them a little bit. I've got a tomato that's tied over. Nice long vine on that one. Tomato doesn't move along with that one. What's going on here? Alright, I just sliced through the roots with my hand there. That's not going to be good for these plants. But I got to get it separated somehow. Another one for the pill bug pile. And here we go. That looks like some pretty good root growth. You gotta remember, I just ripped a whole bunch of stuff off of this too. Like a solid wall along there. That's crazy. Alright, next board. I guess it's the last board, really. The rest of this is just loose plants. That have again tangled themselves in quite thoroughly. That is pretty awesome. Alright, I'm going to see how many of these plants I can save to transplant into the ice fishing sled garden bed. But first things first, I got to move these outside. So here again is another chance to see what I really just don't care for about this particular grow bed, and that's the shape of the bottom there. Those rises didn't really give me a lot of opportunities as far as where to put my drain, hence it got stuck in the end. Well, time to pull this one out. Alright, well now that I've got the other one basically in place, it's time to start messing with that drain. But I think I might have a step up so I can make it at least a little bit larger at the top, and know for sure I'm going to cut that down in height a little bit. Alright, well, better get at it. Alright, so I quickly rigged up a bell, although I'm going to need to make a new one. Something a little bit larger than that, ultimately. Set up a quick drain system here. So just an old pipe with a bunch of holes in it that used to be in the bottom of one of my tanks. Figure that'll make for a more even distribution throughout there. Now, stage one, water testing. I'll pick this back up once we get closer to seeing if it'll actually drain. Theory on the intake seems to be working okay though. Might just go with this. We'll see. Well, it's starting to fill up and I'm already starting to wonder if maybe that drain is just a little bit too high. Perhaps if I just take out that little piece of pipe at the top, that might just be perfect. I'm going to do that, and then we'll check this out. Well, I'm definitely going to have to adjust that because it's draining way too slow, but I already knew I was going to need another drain anyway. Like I said earlier, that's just the fitting that I had at the time when I made this bed, and tragically, I still don't have a new one. Alright, I'm going to fill this up with some medium, rescue a few plants, and we'll see how she looks. Well, clearly you can see the kohlrabi there did not care for its time out of the water. It may perish on me, but we'll see. Decided to transfer that lavender and a couple of those long viney tomatoes. But unfortunately, most of the plants did perish from the heat of the day being out of the system, so guess that's what I've got. I'm gonna have to get another small bag of pellets to top this up. A little bit deeper, uses a bit more than I had available. But there you go. I bet this will look a lot better in a couple of weeks. What do you guys think? Alright, well, thanks for watching and have yourselves a fantastic day.